Vigilant Christian Mario, and you're here for another edition of Illuminati Blood Sacrifice Conspiracies Exposed. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the possible Illuminati sacrifice of Whitney Houston's daughter. Many of you have been asking me to do this video, and at first I didn't think too much of it. I mean, people do die of natural causes, but after investigating this, something seems to be extremely fishy. So I'll just provide with you today with all the evidence, and you can make up your own mind. Because in the entertainment industry, there is a sick, twisted, satanic cabal that believes that through offering people in a ritual called a blood sacrifice, they can access demonic power. They're also warped and twisted internally, and there's a whole money side to this as well. So they're corrupted with greed. But yeah, this is going on, and when I studied this, there's a lot of evidence, so let's get right into it. Now, in the description section, what I'm going to leave for you is the article that really shifted my perception of this, which is by thevigilantcitizen.com, called Whitney Houston's Daughter Found Unconscious in Bathtub, Now in Medically Induced Coma. So I'm just going to ask you to go ahead and read the entire article, but I'm going to highlight some things here. Bobby Christina Houston was found unconscious in her bathtub almost exactly 3 years after her mother, Whitney Houston, was found dead in a hotel bathtub in strange circumstance. So right off the bat, we see this a very strange coincidence that she's found in the very same manner that her mother was found. There are some times coincidences that are too eerie to brush off as a coincidence. This is one of them. Bobby Christina Brown, the daughter of Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown, was found unconscious in her bathtub, face down and unresponsive. This happened almost exactly 3 years after Whitney Houston was found dead in her bathtub on February 11th, 2012. So then he gives you the report here from CNN, how they found her in a very similar state to how they supposedly found her mother. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to leave another link in the description section. I haven't done a video on it yet, but when it comes to Whitney Houston and the events surrounding her death, my goodness, is there ever a lot of indication that shows that she was sacrificed? She started speaking out, and they don't like that when their puppets and those that they control within the entertainment industry start having a voice of their own. That can be extremely dangerous for the artist. And, well, Whitney started to speak out against certain things, and I'm pretty sure they offered her up for opening her mouth, which you're not allowed to do in satanic Luciferian owned and operated Hollywood. So I'm not going to take too much time here because that is an entire video in itself, and I wouldn't be able to do it justice by fitting it into this one here today. Stay tuned to the channel. I will probably cover the Whitney Houston Illuminati blood sacrifice conspiracy in the future. I think this one shows more evidence than anything out there that really shows foul play and the fingerprint of a Luciferian cult when it comes to her death. But check this article out, really fantastic. It shows over and over that even at the Grammys, it was part of a satanic ritual. And that's what I've been saying on this channel. Things like the Super Bowl, the Grammys, these performances, the MTV awards and stuff like that. They're not award shows, and they're not just fun entertainment things. Nowadays, in our antichrist culture, they've become places where there's Luciferian cult performing high-level occult rituals in front of people, engaging the public unconsciously by performing it right in front of them. So anyways, check that out. It's in the description section below, and stay tuned. Like I said, I will probably cover Whitney Houston's sacrifice conspiracy in the future. So I just find it very weird that, you know, this young lady is showing up with all these weird circumstances, and her mom also shows all these weird circumstances. So, I mean, you got to really take these things into consideration. Take into account when you study these things that the mainstream media is controlled by them. They're not going to tell you the real truth. In fact, they're going to create propaganda that works for the elite to cover this stuff up. So it's very hard to do this type of investigative journaling, in a sense, trying to uncover the things that the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about, that they're suppressing, that they don't provide the proper limelight for. You know, it can be very difficult, but keep that in mind. The news, what they tell you, they're going to make it sound Whitney Houston, she died of a drug overdose. It's always drug overdoses. My goodness. Yeah, of course, Hollywood, there's problems with drugs and all this stuff, but don't be so foolish. There is blood sacrifices occurring to take the money from these people and stuff like that. Now, check this out. If you don't believe me, in the wake of her death, legendary diva Shaka Khan summed up what happens to artists who fall out of the grace of the music industry. Now, pay attention. This is powerful. I think we all, as artists, become, because we're highly sensitive people, and this machine around us, this so-called music industry, is such a demonic thing. It sacrifices people's lives and their essence at the drop of a dime. I had a manager once say to me, "You know you're worth more dead than alive." Now, this is a Hollywood insider, diva Shaka Khan. She's had relative success in the entertainment world, and she was told by a manager within the absolutely warped entertainment industry that we so mindlessly just worship, and really is nothing more than the portrayal of the deprivation of mankind. This is what's going on. Managers are telling their stars, you know you're worth more dead than alive. Now, I've been talking in my Illuminati blood sacrifice conspiracies that's exactly what is occurring. These people are better dead than alive. There you have a Hollywood insider, Shaka Khan, telling you that a manager, they recognize this. The managers, the higher ups, those that are part of the Luciferian industry, they know that these puppets are better dead than alive. There's more money. Tupac's worth more dead. Biggie's worth more dead. Heath Ledger, worth more dead. Robin Williams, Paul Walker, all worth more dead. Immediately, they kill off what I believe they have killed off. Robin Williams, look what happened. Boom, massive publicity. You can't even pay for marketing that well. Why? Because they are worth more dead than they are alive. They become legends. We buy up all the merchandise and stuff afterwards. It's a big money thing. So there you go. I just wanted to point that out because I've talked repeatedly in this that money does, there is an occultic satanic side to it. There's definitely a demonic thing, but at the very, practical level, they're doing this for money. They're warped, they're greedy, their hearts are corrupt. So they do it for money. They believe their stars are worth more dead than alive, and they will easily offer them in sacrifices in order to gain some money. Another thing that just blew my mind, and I had to share this with you, that really does show that there was foul play by the elite Luciferian cult here, is a few weeks later after she passed away, her mother, Bobby Brown's sister, went on record and stated, "I believe Whitney's death was not accidental." And she also added that Bobby Christina was not safe. And this was 3 years ago. So Whitney Houston's dies. And then Bobby Brown's sister comes out. Bobby Brown was married to Whitney Houston. So she comes out and she says, look, this was not accidental. Forget what the media is telling you. And she says, I'm worried for Bobby Christina, who now is showing up 3 years later in the very same circumstances that her mom showed up in. Very crazy, suspicious stuff going on here. You know what I mean? That's just mind-blowing. Are you kidding me? Really? 3 years ago. So check this out. I mean, the article's in the description, like I said. You can actually see that 3 years ago, she was talking about the fact that she's actually worried. And no kidding. So there you have it. There's the evidence as I found it. If you find any more, go ahead and leave it in the description section. The point of these videos is really to get you to think and question the mainstream stories that you're fed by the mainstream news, especially when it comes to the entertainment world. There's something twisted behind the scenes going on, and we need to analyze these things. I'm not saying that every single one of these was 100% sacrificed by the Illuminati, but we can't not look at the evidence. The evidence shows, and like I just said, witness testimonies from the inside of the industry show that we're dealing with an absolutely corrupted industry where managers are telling their clients, their stars, that basically they're worth more dead than alive. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with Hollywood, a very depraved, sick, and twisted environment, place, industry. So just in closing, what I would just like to do is have my brothers and sisters in Christ go ahead and just say a prayer for the family, everyone involved. Also, pray that God would bring justice. If there is foul play, if there is something, God brings darkness to light, and the things that are done in darkness, in secret, God has a supernatural power to bring to light and to bring justice. He will bring justice no matter what when he comes on the judgment day, but he can bring justice by kind of ruining their plans and exposing evil if that's what's taking place here. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Is this another Illuminati hit? Are these coincidences? Aren't they a little too much? Let me know what you think. Thanks so much for taking the time. This is the Vigilant Christian saying God bless each and every one of you. As always, stay vigilant and fear no evil. God bless you.